Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and before we jump right into the gameplay, I just want to say I went 4-0, 4-1, and 4-1 with this deck in the Wedding Crasher event, making it by some definitions unbeatable. I was getting right around 50% wins with my mono white life gain deck, but that wasn't good enough. I thought, well, if everybody's playing really blitzy stuff and they're actually like outrunning my kind of mid-range white deck, well, why don't I just run my fastest deck then? And if you're about to say, but Des, how fast is it? Play the footage. Alright, so this Wedding Crasher event is standard constructed, 60 plus, except you're limited to 3 of a card instead of 4. And then whenever you cast a copy of a card that's already in the graveyard, you get 2 blood tokens, which is cool, which works exceptionally well with this deck. So the game made the mistake of letting me go first, and run elves, and have Circle of Dreams Druid exist. I thought it was an A-series card. I think it's actually in Midnight Hunt, but sure, alright. All right, so turn 3, we're just going to absolutely go off with my, 7 mana I think I have available? Hey, remember when they banned that modern deck called Amulet Bloom for having too much mana available too soon? I think this beats that on average. Like, can you guys even feel the power creep? But anyway, this event was really fun because just the decks and the weird, like, inconsistency and just kind of, you got to adapt on the fly, and the fast pace of it was, like, kind of cool. I still think the power level's too high. And look at this. This is disgusting. Why should anybody be allowed to do this? Wait till you see the next game. This is win number 3. But I went 4-1, 4-0, and 4-1 with this deck, which by some definitions would mean it's unbeatable. I mean, any deck will blow up and just self-destruct 10% of the time if you can't pull any lands or pull nothing but lands. But, I'm summoning from the top of my deck. I have unlimited mana. Yeah. So next game, just to give you another example here. Now, I kept this, and it seems like a really quick keep. But remember, I've been playing this deck for, 6 months or something. It's a pretty old school deck, a lot of older cards. But, yeah, he's playing I go first turn 2 Luminarch, which, white weenies, yeah, pretty spicy. So this one, it's a little closer, obviously, because 1, I'm not going first, and 2, I don't have a Circle of Dreams Druid on turn 2 or 3. But I do have access to, I guess if I bring in an untapped creature, what would that be? 4 mana next turn? 5 mana, actually, which is pretty good, but I'm already taking damage because he's putting the pressure on me, so I don't really remember what that red is for. I think, oh, he splashed blood because it's a blood event. I get it. I don't know. Anybody who tried to go vampire blood because, I get free blood tokens, it wasn't strong enough of a deck. It was close. It's not like I've never lost to it, but it's just not good enough. So there's my second card. Oh, it's a card that you've already cast, not a card that's in your graveyard, I guess. I don't know. I thought they said graveyard. It's probably the event not working correctly, let's be honest. There's Righteous Valkyrie, the number 1 card I want banned from that. Ow, just slammed my hand on my desk. Banned from standard constructed, at least in that deck archetype, because +2/+2 is just too damn good when you've got that many sources of life gain and you're already weaponizing it. But there's a lot of stuff I want gone. I think the turns deck, I want something done about a little more, but we're going wide. The problem is I don't have a Circle of Dreams Druid, so okay, I've got a ton of elves, so what? And I put as many reach creatures as I possibly can. I maxed them out. That Jaspera Sentinel on the far left there is reach, and then you can see I dropped the counter on, I would say Yaris, I think it's Varis, over there on the right side, because now it's a 4/4 reacher, so I at least can defend myself while I swing with Death Touchers or get enough mana to activate Elvish War Leader, another card that shouldn't be legal, and now we're getting another Luminarch. Oh my gosh. I mean, they're a little bit short on mana, but their board presence certainly doesn't suggest that. So, I mean, this is pretty spicy. They're going up to a 4/6. They could single-handedly win the game with that. I mean, no joke. So, I decided to let it through once because Unnatural Growth will put it at an 8/8 next turn. So, you always got to look forward there. But, I mean, this match was definitely close. I mean, they're running a blitz deck. I'm running a blitz deck. I packed the board, but I can't do anything with it, and green's number 1 weakness is flying creatures. So if you don't think that Unnatural Growth is OP, somebody forgot to tell my opponent that when it was 24-11 with an advantageous board state with, lethal flyers, but they knew they were never getting past it. I mean, unless they pulled a banish or something or whatever, I don't know. So here's the deck list. Pretty simple, fits all on 1 page, obviously. Also extremely obviously, I'm not going over 60 cards, not in a 3X. format deck because, I mean, there's already redundant like 2 of everything, so I don't want to diffuse it further. And yeah, I could put in all kinds of little fun tricks. There's some mythics I'd want to put in, but they don't fit, and this is just all in elves. It's elf, 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 elf. So the reason for that is primarily, well, I'll just go through the cards. Okay, so Jaspera Sentinel, that's, very early game defense because it's a 1/2. It also has reach, which is very important, and then it can give you just dump elves on turn 2 and 3 abilities because you can tap an elf that just came in for mana. So it's not quite as good as like Woodland Mystic, which is just, a mana dork, but it's tougher and it has reach. So like it actually is better, but this can just tap itself. So, those are the 2 early game generators. Then we got a Death Toucher just to stop stuff, just to stop a blitz, obviously. And then Elvish Warmaster, this card's just nuts. I don't know why they thought anything was okay about this. So you pay 7, every elf gets +2/+2 and gains Death Touch. That's just, win the game. If you activate this before combat and then get Unnatural Growth, yes, it does work the way you're thinking. So, I mean, I don't even need Trample because Death Touch is just going to get through and you're just going to have so much numbers. It's just get elves, get mana from elves, make elves bigger. That's pretty much what the deck does, and unless they have a monstrous amount of control, you're going to do it. And they're just not going to be able to get you below 20 before you can get that board presence out. Except for a board wipe, which is why I don't play this in Standard Constructed. But a lot of people are just running really blitzy stuff. So, boy, I can't remember the last time I saw a board wipe in Wedding Crashers. So then we got, Guardian Gladewalker, which is kind of cool because you can put a counter wherever you want. So you can put it on your toughest creature just to stop an even tougher creature. Or you can put it on your Blightblade to do 2 damage because they're obviously not blocking it. Or, you can put it on your reachers, that or the other one, just to stop like a really big and probably getting bigger flying threat. So, pretty easy there. And obviously it counts as an elf. Then we got Ranger class, which the only reason I run this is because you get a free creature for 2. It's a vanilla 2/2 for 2, so that's cool. Don't care about wolves, it's just a throwaway blocker. But then, I mean, whenever you attack, put a 1/1 counter, so you can, get bigger than their blocker, and eventually they got a chump block, or you took off like 10 life in like 3 turns. So, pretty good card, but then the big thing is once you have enough mana, but you don't have any cards left in hand, there you go. Start casting from the top of your library in level 3. And obviously you'd have the 4 mana to put into this at that point. So we got Paragon. This is just like, oh crap, a 3/2 on turn 2, but then also if you have 5 mana, you can go get a virtually guaranteed elf. I mean, it's the top 6 cards in your library. If you whiff, how is that even possible? The whole deck is elves. Like that, it would never happen. Although it did happen to me once. Welcome to Magic. Anyway, then we got Woodland Mystic. Pretty much already covered it. Then we got Circle of Dreams Druid. This card's just bonkers. It's a 3-cost 2/1. It'll be killed by anything, but come on, really? For each creature you control, it at least could have said elf. It's each creature. I mean, what were they thinking, guys? Then we've got Realmwalker. This is real simple. Just goes to get more elves off the top of your library. I mean, it's a 2/3 useless piece of crap, but it counts as an elf, whatever. And then you just start, just grabbing elves over and over and over. So, there you go. And then we got Varis, Dungeon Runner here. You would want to do the Mad Mage dungeon because you need the Scry. And then Twisted Caverns and Goblin Bazaar are both really, really good. Because, I mean, the more mana you can get quicker, the better. And the more varied sources, the treasure will survive a board wipe or a direct kill of your, Woodland Mystic or whatever. But yeah, I only put in 2 because it's not a dungeon deck. But this is a 3/3 Reacher with Ward 1. I mean, that's like actually huge, and people seem to forget that says ward, although now they put an overlay on the card. We got Bloodline Pretender that just goes bigger every time an elf enters the battlefield, and it's not limited to 1 trigger per turn. So it's only a 2/2 for 3, but like 1 turn later, this thing's going to be out of control huge. So I thought about cutting this to 2 and going Yaris to 3. But it's legendary. And I thought, well, you don't want an elf disappearing and you don't want a dead card on the top of your library or in your hand. And all the scry and extra draw and extra mana and extra casting, it really just mows through your deck so quickly. So you just wouldn't want more than 1 of these showing up, you know what I mean? Then Canopy Tactician, I mean, holy crap. Taps for 3 and other elves get +1/+1. Hi. And then Unnatural Growth. So double everything. Send Mark Rosewater your complaints about this card. So then we got 22 lands just because I don't want to get land screwed. And Lair the Hydra is an emergency dump for mana in case you just can't pull elves off the top of your deck. But yeah, I mean, every time they cast a control spell or, use Blizzard Brawl to get rid of one of your very crucial elves, it sets you back quite a bit. But this is like, by turn 4, you've got so much synergy, they need to stop you or they're going to lose. It's just that simple. So the majority of the time they don't, and then even if they can swing past you with Menace, Flying, or Haste, you're still probably going to win in the end by just packing the board. And I win a lot of games with like 8 life. I mean, you're going to take some hits potentially against a fast deck, but your deck is just, it's like turn 3 through 5 faster. They might be turn 1 and 2 faster, and that's especially true if they go first, but past that, you're just going to win unless you're playing against heavy control, and nobody's playing that. So that's how I went 4-1, 4-1, 4-0 with this deck. I was playing like a white life gain deck, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So this is unstoppable. The export friendly or import friendly or whatever deck list is in the description of this video. Thanks for watching. If this helped you out, leave a big ol' thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you next time.